Welcome to CLC Kenya African Christian Authors Book Award, and we are reviewing the book Gems of Healthy Living. There you go. All Rounded Wellness by Jemimah Nzola. And she's put there forward by Julian Killer. All right, so we'll start with very interesting and strong points about this book. First is the cover. It's really amazing. You can just be able to see it communicates. You can see we have the stone gems, and here she's talking about gems in terms of our wellness, so all rounded wellness. So allow me to start with feedback from the judges. So, in as much as I've put my weight into this, but this book was submitted in Akaba 2022 award program, that's African Christian Authors Book Award 2022. And we had 20 judges, and some of the judges went through this book, and so they gave their feedback in terms of the strengths that they found in this book. And so just a messenger of this feedback that the judges have given. All right, let's start by getting an overview of the book. This you can easily get from the public online e-commerce platforms, Amazon, CLC Kenya website, Akaba website, Nuria bookshop. We have Jumia Kenya, and many other places where the book can be accessed. And so the public summary, if you allow me to read. Do you want to feel good about yourself? Like, yay, I want to feel good. Do you want to look good? Does your emotional well-being matter? How is your mental prowess? How do you relate with others? Let's talk about financial wellness. Are you working for money, or is money working for you? What's your worldview? Do you believe in a deity? Is your life wholesome? We all deserve all-rounded wellness. We all deserve empowerment in managing our health and living life well. We need to live a life devoid of ailments and diseases. A foolproof way to achieve this all-rounded wellness is through making piecemeal changes that will eventually reflect wholesomely. This could be lifestyle changes, fitness, nutrition, and even changes in how you rest and rejuvenate. Where do I start? You ask. The Gems of Healthy Living All Rounded Wellness book is here. It is loaded with insights and wisdom on wholesome living, as well as easy steps towards transforming your life step by step in order to lead a fruitful and fulfilled life. Awesome. Then talks about the author. Always important to know who the author is so that we know whether they are credible to be able to speak to us in this particular topic. And so from the public e-commerce platforms, we get the author's bio. The author, Jemimah Nzola, is passionate about all things health and wellness. She's not only a qualified holistic nutritionist, she's also committed and devoted to continuous research on wellness and holistic wellness. Read this book and make it your wellness Bible and see your life transform to a wholesome, all-rounded lifestyle devoid of diseases, stress, social misnomers, and other maladies. You can tell she's good with words. Enjoy the read, buy for a dear one, and let's add life to our lives. Awesome. Let us look at the judges' feedback for this book. Very nice book, Gems of Healthy Living. Allow me to read some of the comments that came from the judges. One of the judges says that Jemima's passion is very clear. You can almost literally hear her speak in her writing about healthy living. The quotes she cites are also inspiring and easy to relate with. This enhances connectability with the audience, if that's a word, connectability. The book is indeed a gem itself, as the title affirms. So very well done, Jemimah, there. Another judge says that the target is very clear. The book appeals to the well-being of life, making it a very good book that cuts across many spheres, and the knowledge in it can be used by everyone. Many books are actually age, targeted. So you have books for young adults, maybe for children, for teenagers, for mid-age, for older people. But this book can actually be used by, people in whatever age, you are in, because it touches on the wellness, the wholesome wellness of you as a human being. So it becomes a very key point and key strength for this particular book. Another judge said, the author is very knowledgeable in the field they wrote about. It is clear they did their research. The writing style is a succinct narrative, another word, that makes the book interesting to flip through. The author used bullet forms in the book that gives the book clarity and easy to refer to by the audience. So the book is full of points. So this topic, these are the 5-10 points. These are the topic. Here are the points, and it's a very refreshing style of writing, because then you can pick one particular section of the book and you can be able to focus on that and implement what needs to be implemented in that section in a step by step. I know, the general overview, the summary or the blurb, the synopsis of the book talked about step by step guidance. So the numbering and the bullet, the listing makes it very interesting and very easy for you to be able to follow through the steps that Jemimah is talking about. All right. Another judge says that the book is well written. It is clear that the editor did a good job. Yay to the editor, to look out for major errors. The book is well done. It is fit for the purpose, and the quality is also quite impressive. So just looking at it, it's a very well done book. You can be able to see that. Ignore the Akaba 2022 means that it was submitted last year. If you look at that, you can be able to see the quality of the font, the quality of the paper. All right, so we continue and get more feedback from the judges. Another judge says that while the book does not quote scriptures from the Christian Bible, the message in it is profoundly relevant to a Christian, in the sense that wellness and healthy living is a vital subject in our society today. Very important when, Christians are able to, take care of their bodies. And so that becomes very important. If we are not able to function well here, we cannot serve the Lord. So for that reason, it's a very relevant book for Christians today. All right. So the last but not the least, actually it has to be the major one, because every year we ask the judges to pick 3 books that they felt were top for the ones that they handled. And so this particular book was picked as one of the judges' top 3 reads for the year 2022. And so let's see what the judge said. Great, well-written wisdom about healthy living. It focuses on nutrition and has a deep dive into taking care of oneself. It is very well researched and has great proven principles. While it did not quote the scriptures from the Christian Bible, the content creates a foundation for Christians to have a healthy lifestyle, which is a great foundation to grow our pursuit of the things of God. A very profound and carefully crafted book. So there you have it. So I'd want to, look at what Jemimah has tackled here. The book is in 4 parts. Or 5 parts. It's in 5 parts. And so part 1 has the introduction. Part 2 has health is multidimensional. And it has a number of chapters from chapter 2 all the way to chapter 8. There we go. So you can see it has part one, introduction, and then part two has chapter 2 all the way to chapter 8, and it's talking about health is multidimensional. Then you have part 3, food matters. Let's see. Part 4 is about Part 4 is about rejuvenation, and I really liked this particular chapter, because I'm an advocate for resting. Now that I'm also, I work too much. And then part 5, we have the conclusion. Awesome. So let's get right into it. Maybe just to highlight that some of the things or the publishing standards that we should be able to observe is that we have the preliminaries pages, you have the dedication, you have acknowledgement, which Jemimah was able to do. You have a foreword. Now this foreword is by Julian Kuller. My marker was too strong, but you see there, Julian Kuller, global entrepreneur, senior pastor, and a foreword helps you to be able to connect, or people to connect with your book, because they know the person who forwarded for you the book. So if you have someone, maybe a mentor, maybe a senior pastor where you fellowship, it could be a colleague, it could be a spouse, but someone who would be qualified to be able to endorse what you are doing or what you're talking about in the book, that really goes a long way, because there's someone who will just read this book because it's been forwarded by Julian Kuller. Sometimes the person forwarding might not necessarily be very skilled in the topic that you're discussing, but they know you and they know what you do and what you stand for. And so that also becomes a qualification for you to be able to get someone to forward. Then we have Jemimah has an endorsement section, which is also equally good. And you can see this one short, maybe 1-2 paragraphs per person. So an endorsement is just a short, it's like a forward, but it's a short one. It could be 1 paragraph or 2 paragraphs of people who have worked with you or walked with you, or people who know you, or people who've gone through the book. It can also be a testimonial that, I went through this book and, it's really amazing. One of the interesting bit we have here is engineer Eric Nzola, who is the spouse and wellness enthusiast, and there are many others who have endorsed this book. A forward is a long one. I hope you can see a forward is a whole, maybe 1 page, 2 pages, can be even 3 pages, and it's a long one endorsing the book. Endorsement section can just be 1 paragraph and it's done. So in this book we have the spouse to Jemimah, we have Kaka Nabea, we have Roslyn Wesanza, Anthony Kanyoko, Wawira, Kyalo or Chalo, depending with which part of the country you come from, Patricia Obiera, and then we get into introduction. So if you can be able to get endorsement from people who have read the book or people who've gone through the program that birthed this particular book, or even people who know you and know what you stand for, they can be able to put for you a paragraph or 2, and you can put that in your book. So let's get on to introduction. Now, introduction is very important because it helps us to be able to set, or helps you to be able to set the pace and bring us to where you are. The introduction, you can call it introduction, or you can just, have it like what Jemimah has done, which is very clever and, very appealing. Where it all began. Immediately I picked this book, I just want to know where it began, and I don't want to tell you where it began because I want you to pick the book and be able to read it. Okay. Then one very strong point about this book, you've seen Jemimah is talking about different types of wellness and different areas that you can be able to apply. And in every chapter she has put I put here reflection, but she calls them gems of. So like this, for this particular chapter, at the end of each chapter she has gems of. So for this chapter we are talking about physical wellness and health, and she has included that gems of physical wellness, and you can be able to see she has put ideas or questions for you to be able to apply, pick what she's talking about and be able. So it's a very interesting section at the end of every chapter, and I really enjoyed that because I can be able to take the content and just be right away. You can see the next chapter we have gems of emotional health and wellness, and so that continues throughout the book. Let's see. I think one of the most interesting things, of course, all the chapters, there's physical health, is emotional health, financial health, mental health, and Jemimah tackles all that so that, she can bring us to a place of, all-rounded wellness. And I really liked my favorite chapter was the chapter on food. And I put here, just for fun, that's my takeout and things I'm applying, is, she talks about, you can see here, we have examples of poisonous foods, and I'm just thinking, I've been eating poison for a long, long time. She talks about processed fruit juices, artificial sweeteners, microwave popcorn, margarine, vegetable oils, and many others. But what I like with this particular chapter, especially applying for myself, is because she has also given us an alternative of what to pick instead of taking the poisonous ones. This is what you can do instead. Awesome. Then we have chapter 17, which I also like. I am trying to get to a place of, speaking about rest and, avoiding workaholism. You can grab my book on that a different time, but today we focus on Jemimah. I really, really liked this chapter 17. It was very practical. I really liked it. It thinks, she defines what rest is, what rest is not, and so much. And then she gets to rejuvenation, and we get to the last chapter. This book has done well because it brings us, has a conclusion chapter, which brings us, we've been on a journey, and now it brings us down to, this is how we are ending. And it ends on a very good note. I put this here for fun, saying thank you for supporting African Christian authorship, something we are very passionate about. And then after conclusion, we get to the end of the book. I can mention this part here. Jemimah is asking for a review ask, and she says, did you enjoy reading this book? Do not forget to leave a review. Your review will help better the next book. I thank you endlessly. She's put her phone number there, 0722385371. And she also has a website, jemimahzola.com. And so that brings us to a close. It's important for you to have this information here, because I remember I read one book and I really wanted to meet the author. I wanted them to come to a program, a meeting or a conference that I was organizing, and I trying to look for them. There are no contacts. There's no phone number, no email. And it took I think, many months by the time we were able to locate where the author is. By that time, the program had started. Of course, we were able to make do with what we had. But the point is that it's important for you to leave your contacts inside your book. Could be the last page, could be at the cover, back cover. And also it can be on the verso page as well. So you can put your publisher's details on the verso page, which is the copyright page, but you can also put your contact, so that if someone has an opportunity and they want to engage with you, then they will be able to get hold of you, and you can have that conversation and decide. So this is a really, really good book. We can the last, the back page, I like it has included everything that should go in this particular page. So we have the book summary, it's called the blurb, it can be called the synopsis, it can be called a summary. But it's very important, because if this book is in a bookstore or bookshelf and they've already sealed it with plastic paper so that it does not get dirty, the reader has only this section to be able to get to know what the book is about. And of course, also having the author's bio at the back, because it's people buy the author before they actually buy the content. So it's important for you to be able to put that here. And then, of course, you have the ISBN, which is a requirement for you to be able to sell commercially, because then this is what the bookstores and supermarkets and any other place where they scan, and then they can be able to process the book. And then we have the logo of the publisher. Awesome. So the book is available. Here you go. You can get a copy of this amazing book for you to be able to get the all-rounded wellness. It's available from kenyaclc.org, and also from African Christian Authors Book Award, from Jumia Kenya, Nuria Bookshop, Writers Guild Kenya, African Book Hub, Camela Bookshop, and any other bookshop near you. You can get a soft copy from Amazon Kindle and just be able to consume this content. It's a good book, and it is really awesome that you can be able to look at your health, wholesomely. So sometimes some books will talk about the physical health, which is important. Others will talk about the spiritual health, maybe others mental health. But here is a book that is talking about everything that pertains you, your physical fitness, your mental health, your spiritual health, your financial health. And so it becomes, one book that is well packed with all the information that you need to live a very awesome and wholesome and fulfilling life. So I hope you'll be able to grab. I'm going to leave the links below so that you can be able to click and purchase the book, and of course leave a review for Jemimah on her website, or also on any of those other places that I've mentioned. Bye.